Okay, so this is number 14 out of 7.2, and it's actually a pretty tough question. You actually can look up formulas to find this stuff, but we're going to do this using calculus, right? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to think about this thing being on coordinate plane, and I'm going to tip it sideways, okay, and we'll come out in front, and imagine this is kind of behind, so you got it's shaped kind of like this, where the axis is going through the middle of it. Okay. Um, and what I want to do is I want to look at a little representative slice of this thing. So I'm going to pull a slice out right in here and say, okay, well, let's look at this little slice. Now, that's going to be a delta x for its height, right? Because this thing looks like, if I just pull it out here, and that's a delta x for the height. And so the volume of that slice is the area of the base times the height. Well, I know the height is delta x. So I need the area of the base of that slice. Okay. Now looking at this top corner up here, since the height of the whole tetrahedron thing is h, I know this ordered pair is h, and the side length is a. That's the whole thing. So I'm thinking y coordinate is a over 2 because it's half of that edge, right? So looking square on the side of that, then I just have this rectangle, and this side of it is a over 2hx, right? Because the slope is a over 2h, and the y-intercept is 0. So I'm just looking at that edge of it. Okay, that would be, okay, if you're looking at it kind of dead onto the side, that part. Okay, so the whole side then, okay, and since they're all the same, I'm just going to write it over here, would be a over h. Okay. Now the other piece of information we need then is whatever the height of that triangle is. Okay, and it's an equilateral triangle because it's a on all sides, right? So we know they're all 60-degree angles in there, uh, and so proportionally, this is the square root of 3 over 2 times whatever the other side is. So that's a over h, okay, over 2h. Okay. So anyway, that little piece in there, the height of that is square root of 3 over 2 times a over 2h. Okay. So then the area of the base, so I'm just going to call it a of b, area of base. I don't know. Uh, not a of b, let me subscript it. Area of base. Okay. It's just going to be a over h, the base, well, 1/2 times the base times the height. So that would be square root of 3a over 4h. Okay. And then the volume of that slice then is 1/2. Actually, let me just square root of 3 over. Yeah, I'm missing some. Hold on. I'm jumping the gun. I'm trying to move a little too fast. Okay. So that height is, of course, dependent on the x coordinate. Okay. Okay. So that would be the base would be a over h times x. Okay. And then the height of that would be a over 2h times x, because it's dependent on how far out you go. A over h. I'm just making sure I've got all the right stuff in here. Okay, so that's a 60-degree angle, and no, I'm looking at the wrong edge for that 60, for that proportions. Okay. So it would be the square root of 3 over the whole length of the side here. Okay, because this is my 60-degree angle. Think about like the unit circle. That's the radius, right? Okay, so that would just be a over hx. So then the area of the base then, okay, would be 1/2 times the base times the height. A over hx, and I left off my x here because I didn't write it down. And stuff. So that would be 1/4 a squared over square root of 3. I'm just simplifying a little bit. 3 over 4 times a squared over h squared times x squared. 1/2 base times height. All right. So then the volume, okay, of each of those slices would be square root of 3/4 a squared over h squared times x squared times delta x. And then we want to add all those up, so we're going to integrate from 0 to x, or h. Okay? And since the a's and h's are constants, I'm going to pull those out front. And this is what we get. So square root of 3 a squared over 4h squared. And that's going to be 1/3 x cubed, evaluated from 0 to h. And if we evaluate that sucker at 0, we get 0, so h. We're going to get square root of 3/4 a squared h squared times 1/3 h cubed. Okay. And so some of those cancel out. We get square root of 3 over 12. We'll have the a squared and the h. And that's going to be my volume. I know that's kind of the roundabout way, and I might think about cleaning this video up, but it's getting kind of late, and I got a lot of stuff to do still. So, have a great night.